This is Matador News, and these are today's headlines. Secretary of State John Kerry says ISIS is responsible for genocide in Syria and Iraq. SeaWorld visitors will soon say so long to Shamu. And today is St. Patrick's Day, and the green beer will be flowing. Hello, and welcome to Matador News. I'm Jael Allen.
And I'm Esther Kim.
SeaWorld says it will end its San Diego orca shows by 2017. Park customers say they would rather see killer whales in their natural environment. Many animal rights activists say the decision is just a marketing gimmick. They say they would rather the company stop holding killer whales in captivity altogether. After the 2013 documentary Blackfish, revenue at SeaWorld Orlando, Florida dropped. The documentary shows how orcas respond to being held in captivity. The park's San Diego location has seen the biggest decrease in attendance. SeaWorld shows in San Antonio, and Orlando will continue.
Michigan Governor Rick Snyder tells lawmakers today the Environmental Protection Agency caused a delay in fixing Flint's water crisis. EPA Administrator Gina McCarthy has taken some blame for not taking action sooner. Now the state, city, and federal officials are trying to come together for solutions. Governor Snyder says they are on the right path.
This is an important opportunity to talk about Michigan's future. We have a number of challenges we're facing, focusing on 4 issues in particular, and then address the traditional areas of the budget. These areas merit special attention. These are issues that we need to take head on in a positive, constructive way.
Flint's problem began back in 2014 when the city switched from Detroit's water system to Flint River. The lead in the water has been eating the pipes, causing bacteria and poisoning the people. The public health crisis occurred in the city after the water was not treated properly for erosion and aging pipes. Now the city has switched to safer and cheap source to save money.
Secretary of State John Kerry says ISIS actions against Christians and other religious groups in the Middle East constitute genocide. Before this morning, the Obama administration had been trying to avoid using the term. But now, Kerry says the U.S. interference was necessary to prevent more deaths.
Without our intervention, it was clear those people would have been slaughtered.
This is the first time the U.S. has declared a genocide following Darfur in 2004. In 2014, ISIS trapped and killed thousands of Yazidis and enslaved women and children. Congress has set a deadline for the State Department to formally accept the genocide designation.
Some Senate Republicans are refusing to meet with President Obama's Supreme Court nominee, Judge Merrick Garland. Garland is heading to Capitol Hill today without knowing whether leading Republicans will open the door for him. White House Chief of Staff Dennis McDonough says President Obama made a great choice.
The president has submitted a nominee with unquestioned qualifications, experience, and excellence. He's done his job pursuant to his responsibilities under the Constitution. Now the Senate should do its.
Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the nomination should be made by the next president, not by President Obama.
Monday's presidential debate in Utah has been canceled. This after Donald Trump announced that he will not be attending. In a phone interview with Fox News, Trump says he's upset about being asked the same question over and over.
So I was very surprised when I heard that Fox called for a debate. Nobody told me about it, and I won't be there, no.
John Kasich also deciding not to attend the debate, leaving only Ted Cruz. Republican National Committeeman Bruce Huff apologizes for what is happening. Over 50,000 tickets were requested for the debate.
Midwestern and southern states have been experiencing extreme weather conditions. Flooding in Louisiana has caused caskets to surface in several cemeteries. Authorities say the issue is somewhat common in lower-lying areas. The caskets were spotted flooding along the Texas border on Tuesday. The flooding has also caused a major highway closure along the westbound I-10 at the Sabine River. The Department of Transportation said portions of other highways might also experience closures.
Now let's go to Matador News reporter Jordan Williams in the newsroom for coverage on the CSUN's Grad Fest.
Save the date, spring graduation is on its way. About 10,000 students are expected to graduate this spring. This week is Grad Fest, and about 5,000 to 6,000 students are lining up to prepare for the big day. Assistant Director of Student Involvement Christopher Aston says Grad Fest is essential for students who are about to graduate.
They can get their caps, gowns rented. They can indulge in all of the things that are related to commencement itself. So pick up information on tickets and that ticketing process, get your class rings, invitations, those types of things.
All 8 colleges will be divided into equal parts during the commencement. CSUN student Christopher Hogikyan says he is more than excited to graduate.
Feels amazing. I mean, like all the hard work that I've put through, you know, it's finally going to pay off, you know, for me, for my family, and it's all just, it's going to be good.
Grad Fest will be going on today in the bookstore complex until 6 at night. Graduation will take place from Friday, May 20th to Monday, the 23rd. Now let's go to Gabrielle Ortega with the business report.
The Peabody Energy Company, known as the world's largest private sector coal producer, may go out of business. The company says its problems come from missing interest payments. Peabody reported a loss of $2 billion last year, with its revenue down 17%. Meanwhile, presidential candidate Hillary Clinton says she wants to revitalize coal country.
Using clean, renewable energy as the key into coal country, because we're going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business.
But Clinton's deputy communications director says Clinton does want to help coal miners transition to jobs in clean energy. A new study says Siri is not so smart in giving advice at a time of crisis. Stanford and UC San Francisco evaluated how well smartphone personal assistants respond to mental health and violence questions. The study tested Apple, Samsung, Google, and Microsoft Voice. Microsoft was the only voice assistant that accurately responded to reports of rape and assault. All other devices are not responded with understanding or knowing what to do. The study does not address the number of people who confide their fears and anxieties to Siri. As mobile technology becomes more prevalent, public health specialties say this is a concern. Let's go to Carolyne Hogikyan with the latest news on health.
The U.S. is one step closer to getting the first genetically modified mosquito to fight the Zika virus. The Food and Drug Administration has released a draft of the environmental impact study. The Aedes aegypti mosquito has been modified to pass on a lethal gene to its offspring. The mosquitoes can re-hybriditate from the offspring, die before reaching maturity. Previous trials in Brazil and the Cayman Islands have reduced the population of the Aedes aegypti by more than 90%. An environmental research organization is urging the federal government to strengthen its advice to women about mercury in fish. A new study by a nonprofit environmental working group says the old guidelines on seafood are not specific enough and lead women to eating too much of the wrong fish. Mercury exposure during pregnancy can cause changes in the development of the baby's brain and nervous system. Now let's go to Newsroom with Matador reporter Trevor Edwards on the plans for CSUN students this St. Patrick's Day.
Make sure you're wearing green today because today is St. Patrick's Day. The Irish holiday, which takes place March 17th, is celebrated around the world. Notorious for being associated with drinking alcoholic beverages such as green beer and Irish whiskey are commonly served at pubs and bars. Some CSUN students say what their holiday plans are.
I am doing the pub crawl in Santa Monica.
The on-campus pub is decorated with garlands and shamrocks.
I am an after-school coach for Lawrence Middle School, so I'm actually on my way to go give these candies and food and all these stuff to my kids that are all wearing green today.
Uber and Lyft are offering special promotions today in celebration of St. Patrick's Day. Also, 40 and Sip is offering free coffee and green bagels to CSUN students. Now back to Gabrielle with entertainment.
Frank Sinatra Jr., son of one of the most legendary singers, has died. He died at 72 from cardiac arrest at a Daytona Beach, Florida hospital. He was on his Sinatra Sing Sinatra tour. Sinatra Jr. went through a very traumatic experience when he was 19 years old. He was kidnapped while on tour with his father and was held for ransom. Everyone assumed the kidnapping was a stunt to promote his career. Sinatra Jr. says that he lived with this fake allegation for years. His sister Nancy Sinatra shared a message to his fans via Twitter mourning his loss. The Simpsons creators have once again predicted the future. An episode that aired in 2000 shows an America with Donald Trump as president. Show creator and writer Dan Greeny says it was a warning to America. In the episode, Bart is shown a vision of his future. Lisa becomes president of the United States after her predecessor Trump puts America in the worst possible situation. Greeny does not remember why he pitched the idea in the first place, but once The once hated episode, Bart to the Future, is now getting a lot of attention. Let's go back to Carolyne with the latest news in sports.
Chicago White Sox players boycotted Wednesday's spring training game. The boycott was to support their infielder Adam LaRoche. LaRoche retired in protest after team president Ken Williams told him that he had to limit his 14-year-old son's involvement with the team. LaRoche left a contract that would provide him with $13 million. He has not yet submitted his paperwork to the Major League Baseball office, and the White Sox are allowing him to reconsider. Nike has unveiled a new shoe that can tie itself up. The HyperAdapt 1.0 sneakers are powered by an underfoot lacing mechanism. The shoes are battery-operated and feature an inductive charge system and magnetic cup. When users step into the shoes, their heels will hit sensors and the shoes will tighten. A plus and minus button allows the wearer to adjust the tightness. The shoes take about 3 hours to charge, and Nike says the charge will last up to 3 weeks. The company plans to release the sneakers by the holiday season, but will be available only to Nike Plus members. March Madness starts today with the first round of the NCAA tournament. The schedule is available online at SB Nation. That's all for sports. Let's go back to Esther with more news.
A pet fox in Michigan sure has a lot to laugh about. Archer the white Arctic fox has a hilarious talent of laughing on command. The owner's video of Archer laughing at her boyfriend hit 35 million views. The owner has more videos of Archer playing with his toys on her Vine.
Thank you for watching Matador News.
I'm Esther Kim.
I'm Jael Allen. I'm Carolyne Hogikyan.
And I'm Gabrielle Ortega.